Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Business Talks. Today, I have a very special guest, a small business owner by the name of Greg Lipster, who owns Barrister Winery. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Connor. We're very pleased to be here.
It's an honor to have you. So let's just get right into it. Barrister Winery, where is that at here in Spokane?
Well, the winery itself is located at 1213 West Railroad Avenue. So we're near 2nd and Jefferson, kind of on the west end of downtown.
Kind of near KHQ, right?
Yes, about a block and a half from KHQ.
Fantastic. And you got plenty of parking, I hear, right?
We have parking, yes. And we have limited parking behind the winery, but Bernardo Will's architect firm allows us to use their parking lot after hours and on weekends, and that gives us what we need.
That's good to know, because if I'm a consumer and I want to go to your location or business to drink wine, obviously, then I would want a place to park. And
Yes.
having those options, especially downtown where parking is limited.
Yeah, and it's a well-lit lot, so everyone's been we're
good.
very pleased with it.
That's good. And when did you start Barrister Winery, or when did Barrister Winery itself start?
We started in 2001. We kind of started the whole thing by accident in 1997.
Oh, really? Go into detail about that.
Well, my partner, Michael White, we were just best friends and wine drinking buddies. Used to drink a little too much wine together sometimes. So in 97, Michael and his wife and their daughter and my son and I were going up to Ainsworth Hot Springs for the weekend. And we got on the road and started talking and realized that no one had brought anything to drink, which did not bode well. So we're driving through Nelson, and the store says wine shop. And we pull in, and they don't sell bottles of wine. They sold winemaking kits. And we said, we always wanted to make wine. So we bought this kit to make 5 gallons of Zinfandel from a concentrate. And that's how this whole thing started.
And that crazy idea
Yes.
turned into a business.
Yes.
And so have you always been at the current location that you've been at?
No, we started in 1991. We were in 1,500 square feet in the daylight basement of an old livery stable.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we had our first release in August of 2003, and no, wait a minute, excuse me.
No, you're all good.
What year did I say we started?
2001.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're all good.
So we started in 1,500 square feet in the daylight basement of an old livery stable. We had our first release in May of 2003, 130 cases of wine, and in August we got evicted. You know, you'd think 2 attorneys could write a decent lease. But it's the best thing that ever happened to us. That's how we found our present location, which has just been a blessing.
And it's so architecturally interesting too itself, right? It's a brick building, correct?
Yes, it's an old brick building built in 1908.
Wow.
With the history with the railroad, because we used to be connected to the railroad tracks on the 2nd floor. So prior to 1949, they used to offload automobiles on the siding, bring them across the bridge, through the building, down in the elevator to the main floor, and clean them up for the car dealerships.
I think that's one of the best aspects of Spokane. Not only the small business community itself, in the sense of being a family in a sense, but the architecture, the history of that, what's behind it, and if you research it and you look into it, you just add that aspect to your business itself.
Oh, Connor, we're so fortunate that we have these historical buildings and they aren't all parking lots. We're really, really pretty blessed to have the location that we do.
Yeah. And some of the other, I mean, when you think of Spokane, you think of the steam plant, the clock tower, these other historical buildings that not every city has, or small town like Spokane.
Yeah, it helps give Spokane personality.
Yes, it's a
And a
big
sense of history.
It's a big cultural
Yes.
personality here in town. So, but back to Barrister Winery. I love Spokane. I've always lived here. I've been here since 2000 when I was born, and in the same house, and I adore it. I've been to Barrister. You actually hosted our Spokane Philanthropy Awards
Yes,
a year ago,
we did.
correct? Yes, and I unfortunately was not able to go to the event itself, but we really wanted to thank you for doing that and giving back to the community itself.
We love to support the nonprofits in town. You play such an important role in just the Spokane community. So we do whatever we can to help support.
If you support small business, because small business is the backbone of America, it helps stabilize our economy itself. I mean, consumer spending accounts for 70% of the GDP, and if you spend it here locally, that's just even better.
Yes.
Rather than these nationwide brands. But So get into some of your wines. I actually have one of them here. It's a Cabaret Franc, right?
Yes.
And it was award-winning wine, correct?
Yes, this is the wine that kind of put us on the map. It was the second wine we ever made back in 2003. We sent it down to Los Angeles Wines of the World competition just to see what would happen. It was, I don't know, over 3,500 wines from around the world, and it won Best of Show. It was, when they announced the award, it was Cabernet Franc, which was not mainstream at that time. It was from Washington State, and it was from a winery no one had ever heard of. So it was wonderful.
I think Washington State has become the new capital of winemaking in the nation and possibly top 3 of the world. I mean, when you think of wine, you think of France and Italy, but you don't always think of Walla Walla, Tri-Cities, Spokane, Barrister Winery.
At Washington, we now have over 1,000 wineries in Washington State.
You're kidding.
We are the second largest wine producing state in the country.
And I'm assuming probably behind California.
Yes, behind California.
the agriculture hub of the United States. But that's fantastic. I love wine personally. I'm a white guy, but I like my reds, especially with my red meat.
Well, when you come to Barrister, you can have whatever white wine you would like, as long as it's Sauvignon Blanc, because that's the only one we make.
Okay. Fantastic then. And you guys have been through a lot, especially with the pandemic, but you've also survived too. Spokane really stepped up, right?
You're exactly right. Spokane has been amazing during this whole pandemic. So we do a lot of events at the winery. You know, generally most years, 100, 120 events. So
Wow. So weddings.
weddings, receptions, client appreciation events, fundraisers. But for 18 months, we couldn't do anything. But the community stepped up, the community and our wine club were so amazingly supportive. It made the difference between really doing well and looking at possibly having to close. So we just need to thank the community.
And you adapted through delivering wine or curbside pickup?
Yes, we started with curbside pickup, and a lot of people just weren't comfortable getting out. So we said that we would do free delivery in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and I think people appreciated that. So,
That's amazing. And I'm glad that you guys survived. And now you're thriving. This is the best day you've ever been business-wise, correct?
yes, things are good. We have that Spokane community that stepped up, and now we're getting the restaurants back and events. People are getting married again.
Who Fest is coming back here actually really soon.
Fest is this weekend, yes.
Yeah. Paul McCartney started his tour here in Spokane, which
He did.
I mean, who would have thought?
Yes, his percussion player was in the winery 2 days before.
Oh, really?
2 days before the concert, and we were just hoping that maybe after the concert, Paul McCartney
would
might
show
drive by.
And I heard a rumor that he actually got to duet with John Lennon in the concert itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Daily Mail picked up the story itself, and I actually had my roommate's father got to go because he got a ticket last minute, got to go see it, and when John showed up, because it was footage, obviously, because
Yes.
obviously Lennon's not with us anymore, but Paul started singing a song from one of the live recordings with Lennon, and Lennon got to duet with him, and it was just
Wonderful.
one of the more magical
Yes.
moments of that concert. So, but just an example of some of the other community events going on here in Spokane, and just excited to have it back and to be done with COVID, to have it in the rearview mirror.
Yes,
so to say.
exactly.
So, if I was to come to Barrister Winery, I heard there's a discount that you're giving out too.
Yes, for the month of July, if you come to the winery and just tell them that you watch the Spokane Talks program about Barrister Winery, you and a guest will get a free tasting. It's a five wine tasting flight.
Woo! So, have you heard that right? You go into Barrister Winery during the month of July, so July 1st through the 30th. Is there 30 days? Or is there 31st?
31.
31. Okay, 31. It's my birthday date. My mom's gonna probably not be happy about that. But if you go in between July 1st and July 31st, and you say you watch the Spokane Talks, Business Talks interview with Barrister Winery, you'll get a free wine tasting tour.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, Greg, you have any last words you want to say, or about Barrister Winery?
Oh, Connor, we're just thankful that you support us and that the community supports us, and we just want to thank Spokane for keeping us alive and making this happen.
Well, we appreciate any small business owner that wants to come on, and we will always support small business.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.
The world has changed a lot in 50 years, and Kimley Haygood has changed with it. We still provide our customers with the highest level of service, whether it's financing, construction management, property management and maintenance, leasing, or sales. Our team is here to help you make the best decisions with your real estate.